What's up, sports fans? This is PB Sports coming to y'all with another episode. This is Wendell.
And this is Josh.
All right, and we coming to y'all with another episode this week. We are talking about the NBA draft the NFL draft and the NBA playoffs. So we was just having a conversation before the camera started rolling about how the NBA playing doesn't really count towards anything as far as the stats go.
Yeah. They don't even recognize it they don't put it on like the full bracket when you try to search it and go to games. If we're gonna make this is the reason why fans didn't like it in the beginning when y'all first brought it up, and this is kind of the reason why y'all having backlash with certain things is because y'all not even taking the shit serious. If the games count towards making the playoffs, they should count towards stats. They should count towards individual stats. They should count toward team stats. All that shit. So the NBA, please fix that because Kobe White had his best game, and that shit won't even count for nothing, which is sad.
Yeah, we had some memorable performances during the playing game, and it just doesn't make sense to me that it won't count. And they got a lot of stuff. They got a lot of stuff where that happens in sports where they'll put down a stat and then it's an asterisk by it. Just put it in the playoff stats and just put it in the asterisk playing game because it's a playoff game. These guys are fighting for their life out there. Some of these games in the play-in was crazy, bro.
It was.
Really good games. And you could just tell the intensity was there. The idea was I think I was one of the people that wasn't really sure if I fuck with it, but I fuck with it for sure.
Yeah.
And definitely lift the level of play, lift the energy. I was this close to going to Chicago playing game versus Philly, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna save my money. I think I pretty much know how this gonna turn out. So, but yeah, bro, it's good for the league, bro. So they definitely need to figure out a way to get that to count, bro. But just to get into the games that we had this year, we had the Lakers versus the Pelicans.
Great game.
Warriors versus the Kings.
Shout out Kings.
Yeah, wrapping up that what's it called?
Putting a nice little bow on that send off of that dynasty there.
Yeah, that dynasty up, bro. I don't know how the Warriors planning on moving forward with that, but yeah, I think it starts with finding somewhere to get Clay up out of there.
Yep.
But yeah, the 76ers and the Heat, that went right down to the wire. And then we had the Bulls and the Hawks, which was not very exciting.
Bulls showed out that game. The whole team went crazy.
Yeah.
And Hawks weren't ready. Just weren't ready. I think
Trae Young had just came back, and I just don't think he was able to really. The whole momentum of the team really shifted when he got injured. And I'm not gonna lie, they gelled pretty well with him gone, but DeJounte Murray became a real true point guard. And we know that they've been playing this 2-point guard system, but DeJounte Murray has been deferring to be the 2.
Yeah. When
Trae was out, we seen DeJounte getting Trae numbers, getting double doubles. I think we seen a triple double. DeJounte was the pure ball handler all the way up the court, and we know that Trae is ball dominant. So yeah, it was just gonna be weird to mix that together. It's already weird enough mixing that together.
And the timing of it all too, not having enough time to gel from coming back from that injury for real.
Exactly.
It all made sense as to why they kind of had an early exit and the way they did. But next year they got a lot of bright things coming for them for next year. Trying to work out that 2-point guard system. Do you think Trae is going to be that leader for them moving forward? Is he going to be, because I know he can lead them in stats, he can do all this, but as a locker room leader, is he one of them guys? To me, he doesn't strike me as one. If it was between me listening to Trae or probably DeJounte, I'm probably as a leader, I'm probably gonna listen to DeJounte Murray. That's how I feel.
And honestly, I don't feel like I feel like you got a point. I feel like Trae probably is not going to even probably be as vocal. When you look at him, he's kind of mild-mannered and all of that good stuff. I think I seen him do one celebration. Not one celebration. I think I seen, it was like some video where he did like this shit or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Trae, but it's just because it's something we not used to seeing, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm not used to seeing Trae in that light. So, I probably would be more, DeJounte be getting in people's face.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. You remember that video when him and Paolo was playing?
Yep.
In the before the season started, I was like, damn, why you going on the young man like that? fucking dunking on plumbers and shit. Like, bro, why is you doing all that? I forgot what the that little thing they was playing in was called, but it was like some little preseason thing, like kind of like the Drew League. I'm like,
all type shit.
I'm like, bro, why is you going that crazy and throwing shit off the backboard? I was like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I will have to see. I feel like when you look at how they team is structured, they kind of need each other. But it's just like y'all have to have that type of gel because DeJounte coming with defense too.
Yeah,
he gonna get some steals. He also can rebound very well. It's just whenever Trey's back in the picture, he has to dial back the scoring. He has to dial back the assists because he's not the primary ball handler. So I think they definitely can make another run for the playoffs next year. But if they keep DeJounte, but I don't know how long that's going to work long term. Yeah. It's going to keep the fans coming out, and I think that might be the only thing they care about. They don't really look like they building for a championship.
You know, yeah, there are teams that are like that. They're just trying to get the tickets sold and get the stadium filled, but not necessarily competing long term for a chip. And that is one of them teams. I think that you could say is one of them. So I agree.
So out of these playing games, which was your favorite game?
To be honest, mine was definitely
the one you were saddest about. Your favorite and the one you were saddest about.
All right, my favorite one was the Lakers Pelicans. I think the Pelicans could have easily won that game. They kind of, in my opinion, gave that one up with their shot selection was crazy, bro. They was running. I'm talking about it was 2-point game, 4-point game, where they were just running down the court off a rebound, trying to create a fast break. They didn't have one. Trying to create a fast break and go and shoot a three, like a Steph Curry style three, where you just run down the court, pull up and shoot. I'm like, bro, y'all are literally down 2 points with like 5 minutes left. There's no point of throwing these shots up. And they did that on multiple back-to-back possessions to the point where like y'all could have easily won this game. But it was fun to watch down the stretch. The Lakers pulled that one out, and my saddest one, of course, had to be the Kings losing to the Pelicans and taking that final spot because.
I agree.
Bro, like I fuck with the Kings. They one of those underdog teams. They a team in the market that does not get a lot of love. So every time that they have some success, I always root for them. I always cheer them on. And I was hoping that they could pull out. Seeing them send off, like we talked about, seeing them send off the Warriors was great. But I wanted them to kind of get a series in, and they just couldn't pull off the win against the Pelicans.
Yeah.
And that was an opportune time, like you said, with Zion out. You know, you had a chance, but just didn't happen for him this year. So that was pretty sad to see, I will say.
Yeah, CJ McCollum had one of them fucking games, and that's just we always say it, bro. That is what separates the greats from the good players, and that's why CJ is never going to be in that great tier because he's going to have those explosions where he has great games. I think he had 2 or 3 great games in a row going into the playing game where he was scoring like 30 points. Getting like 10 assists, like, you know, shit like that. He's not consistent. And that's why the Pelicans ended up where they was because I really felt like, every time I'm watching a Pelican game when they losing, I'm wondering why Brandon Ingram is not getting more aggressive. That's my biggest issue when I watch them play and they losing because I feel like Brandon Ingram is really a walking bucket. And he just never decides to get aggressive. Maybe it's the weed, you know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
chilling.
I was just gonna say the Pelicans have almost a roster full of guys who have on nights and off nights. Yeah. Very inconsistent as a whole, bro. Like you never know Zion gonna be like this was his best
Zion
year as far as health wise, as far as play. This was his best year, and then when they needed him most, he went down. That was a struggle. Like you said, Brandon Ingram just not turning it on when he should or when he could. And then CJ McCollum just like every now and then he comes out with a 30-point game, or every now and again he'll drop 25 on you, and then he'll come out and have 11 or something just very, very mild and very, I guess, middle of the pack type of play. So that's just their MO this year, or these past few years really. It's just no dominance, very inconsistent play.
Yeah.
And I mean, they went up against a Thunder team who's red hot and scary to play right now with the sweepski.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
The sweep is crazy.
With one of the youngest teams in the league. And my man's.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I be calling shit, bro. I really do, bro. Like that's been my sleeper team for the past 3 years. And then when I seen them take that leap, I seen Chet play and mix and gel real well with Shea. I knew that was gonna be, but it was really Jalen Williams that really put them over the edge. But I'm gonna say my favorite and saddest one before we get into the actual playoffs. But favorite was definitely the Kings sending the Warriors home. I've never been a meat rider, especially for the Warriors. I've never really liked the dynasty, and them sending the Celtics home. Yeah, that shit pissed me off. But you know, it is what it is. That was the Celtics' fault more than anything. So you know, but the Warriors, that being their last ring, that's kind of upsetting. But yeah, break that up. But my least favorite definitely was seeing the Kings go home versus the Pelicans. I really ain't want to say that because I ain't want to copy, but it was my saddest one because I think it was a travesty that neither De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis was all-stars this year. And I think people gonna see, you know, that they didn't even make the playoffs. Both of them was playing well. Neither one of them was hurt, and they didn't win. Neither one of them was all-stars, and then they don't go to it's gonna look like people might have been right. And then beyond that, Malik Monk don't win Sixth Man of the Year.
Man, and
because he got injured. Good. I mean, it was just so much that tied into why this was not. I was upset with that, bro.
I get that because Malik Monk probably had one of his better years. If not the best year since he's been in the league, probably.
That's probably got to be one of the biggest snubs for Sixth Man of the Year. And Naz Reid played good, but honestly, in my opinion, if Malik Monk didn't win, I wanted Bobby Portis to win. Just in my opinion. But Naz Reid, he's on a top team, and he's the top player coming off the bench for that team. And they have some interesting players coming off the bench. I had no idea the SGA brother was shooting the three like that. That boy can shoot threes. He can shoot off his ass, bro. That shit is crazy. I had no idea. But you watch the playoffs, the stuff that you be missing during the regular season, they gonna throw them numbers at you while you watching, bro. And SGA brother definitely was balling. But so yeah, to get into the first series, we got the OKC and New Orleans. So we already alluded to the fact that they got swept. So what do you think that says about OKC, and what you think that says about
well, it shows,
we say what it says about the Pelicans. What do you think that says about
what
OKC?
It shows about OKC is like they're a force to be reckoned with and they keep these guys together. They can be a dynasty.
Yeah,
they are scary good. I think even up until this point, they were kind of overlooked by some because of their age and because of their like inexperience in playoffs.
Yeah.
But now it's no more overlooking them. They beat a veteran team. They beat a team that have had guys in the league for many years now, and they beat an experienced coaching staff as well. So they have that under their belt going into the second round. They're going to be a scary team, not only in this series, not only in the playoffs, moving forward for the future. If they keep their core group together, I mean, they can win some rings, man. I mean, there's no telling. This is kind of like the new age of basketball you watching with the Thunder. So they're an exciting group. I didn't think Chet Holmgren would be a dominant force when he got to the league. I thought like his size, as far as he's put on some weight, but still not to the point of where other guys are at. And I thought that would come into play a lot more than it has. And he has shown me and proven me wrong. And I think a lot of other doubters wrong. So they are a force to be reckoned with. And that showed in this series against the Pelicans for sure.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy.
Chet was my favorite to be Rookie of the Year this year, but I think we dealing with something different with Wemby. So
yeah,
you can't. It is what it is. But Chet definitely, if there was no Wemby, he'd definitely be your Rookie of the Year.
Yes,
but
true.
I think the role that Chet is in as the number 2 guy, I honestly think he might be the number 3 guy as far as scoring. Which is even better because you're a rookie, bro. You don't need all that pressure on you. We've seen Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams is the glue. Everybody, and we all know SGA is my pick for MVP. So obviously, I think Shea is the best player on the team. But I think Jalen Williams is the glue. He is that piece that puts them over the top. I think Shea and Chet Holmgren duo that puts them in like the 8th. I mean, they put in the West. That puts them in like an 8th seed. But having that third guy that's gonna come and give you 20 points, that puts them where they at in the top in the West.
Yeah.
So I think I've been talking about OKC this whole year. I went to go see one of their games, and actually, even in the loss, because they did lose to Orlando on a fucking game winner. I always see the craziest games, but
I forgot you went to that game, bro.
yeah, bro, that was crazy. Just
Paolo,
man, Paolo different. And we gonna get into that too. But yeah, so yeah, that says a lot about OKC. I think they on the right path.
Yeah.
So the next series, and that was a sweep. We got another sweep. We want to talk about the Suns and the Timberwolves.
I mean,
now, bro,
I didn't see the sweep coming.
What are we seeing right now with Anthony Edwards? This is exciting. Like
he had his game one the day before we were recording this episode. He had his game one of the conference semifinals. He had over 40 points. He has now joined Kobe Bryant in players with consecutive 40-point playoff games at the age of 22 or younger. That's the only two people that's done that.
He a dog.
He also has the top 3 playoff performances of the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise history. He has the 1, 2, and 3.
They've had some great, well, I'm not going to say they have a lot of great players, but we know they had KG.
Yeah. and they had Rubio, but he ain't dropping 40.
And your boy Love.
Oh, yeah.
That was like that was one of your favorite players.
I think he was on him and Mike Miller.
Yep. Crazy,
it was
bro.
Crazy. But yeah, so Anthony Edwards is showing us that when he had a lot of talk about him in the draft about how serious he was going to take things, how he could be a championship contender. That's why the Warriors passed on him, was because they didn't see that he would be a serious championship contender type of player, taking things serious. And you see that he's the complete opposite. He's just a fun-loving guy, but when he comes into the game, it's all serious, it's all business, and he handles his business for sure. And the performance he put on yesterday against the Nuggets, not gonna get too deep into it, but man, it opened up the rest of the world's eyes that wasn't looking at him already, for sure.
For sure. If you don't know about Anthony Edwards, you know about him now. Mm-hmm. And I think what he's doing right now is similar to Michael Jordan in the sense that let's go off topic a little bit and talk about his shoes. Like, who the fuck was fucking with Adidas shoes?
Nobody. Hooping shoes, Adidas was last, bro.
Nobody.
They was. I mean, Steph Curry took over Under Armour. Under Armour jumped over Adidas in basketball.
Exactly. So but if you think about what was going on before Jordan got to Nike, nobody was wearing Jordans. His basketball shoes. Those was track shoes.
Yeah, Nike was not in the basketball game for real until Jordan.
Converses. Mm-hmm. Everybody was wearing Converses, and he brings that type of light and energy to that brand to where everybody is fucking with it now. I'm looking at the next pair of basketball shoes I buy might be some damn Adidas.
Man, I like his shoes.
I like his shoes too. His shoes is nice, bro. His shoes nice. I think I like Donovan Mitchell shoes too.
Oh yeah.
James Harden shoes probably better. I ain't gonna lie, I like James Harden shoes better than both of their shoes. They doing their thing right now.
Yeah,
they really
I'm
in
not
their
a
bag
huge fan
right
of
now.
James Harden shoes, but
they
that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's just my thing.
Yeah.
I like how Anthony Edwards shoes look a little lighter.
Yeah.
They still look very comfortable, which some brands tend to forget about when they're making basketball shoes for some reason. They forget about the level of comfortability. Yeah. And them motherfuckers look very comfy. I ain't gonna lie. So.
Look very comfy.
Them bitches look like Skechers slip-ons, bro. Look comfortable.
No, for real. I'm fucking with them though, for real. But yeah, I mean, it's a video. It was like a video with what'd you call it? Brad Beal talking to his Brad Beal elite players, and he like, you can't take my job, bro.
Oh yeah.
Man, Anthony Edwards took your job, bro. He dunked. He was making him look crazy. Yeah. He had a terrible game. They tried to tell him, "Shake, fuck it. Don't even worry about offense. Just focus on guard." He got dunked on. Like, bro, it's
another thing this sweep did is not only solidify Anthony Edwards in Minnesota as now a top dog type of player and team. It solidified. It showed us a lot of problems that the Suns were having throughout the year. KD came out like a day later and was like, I wasn't being used right. I wasn't doing what I felt like I could do best to contribute to the team. And it shows that maybe the coaching staff just didn't know what they was doing with what they had.
Yeah.
In a way. Because he was like, man, a lot of the times they just telling me to go to the corner. And that's not my type of play. I like to have the ball in my hands. But when you got 3 guys that like to have the ball in their hands, sometimes it just doesn't work out because some guys don't buy into the system you try to bring.
I think they trade. I think you trade Brad Beal and you get a real point guard. Your best chance was with Chris Paul before. I think it was the year before his last year. That was y'all best chance. And I think that was when y'all system gelled the best. Y'all gonna be hard pressed to find a distributor like Chris Paul. But that's gonna be your best bet is getting rid of y'all substitute point guards and getting a real point guard, bro. That's gonna really get y'all. That's really gonna get y'all together, bro. Because what y'all doing right now is not working. How the hell you lose a game with Devin Booker scoring 42 points? Something else not right there, bro.
True.
And Nurkic numbers on the boards was declining, but that man numbers going into the playoffs was crazy. This man had like some 30-point rebounding games and stuff like that. Rudy Gobert, I mean, you can say what you want about him, but his numbers stayed consistent, and Nurkic just went in the toilet. So,
and he's been playing very good complimentary basketball.
Yeah.
Through the end of the year and into the playoffs, and so far in the playoffs, he's done a very good job of playing his role, getting the boards when he needs to, and being open and finding himself open in the paint and getting them little floaters and getting points, getting buckets when needed. And I mean, that team is just gelling on another level right now. They are a scary team. Them versus the Nuggets is going to be an amazing series to watch. I watched last night's game. It was exciting until the end, and it's going to be like that every game from moving forward. And I think if watching either one of those teams play the Thunder in a 7-game series, bro, our eyes are going to be glued to that television. Like, it's going to be crazy.
I'm hoping if we can get that for the Western Conference Final, that would be fun.
That would be
top tier basketball.
That would be fun. The West Conference playoffs is, I think, the more fun to watch right now in general, but that's just my opinion.
No, I think you're on to something, especially with the East. Everybody injured in the East, and God forbid something happen to any more of our players, bro. We already lost Kristaps, but I think that's probably best. That I feel like an injury was gonna come at some point, and I'm glad that it happened at this point. He's got a chance to come back probably before the finals, and I think that was the last little piece we was missing that we needed to beat.
I mean, if anybody on your top guys is gonna get injured, I think he's gonna be the one you'd want anyway. You don't want Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown going down right now.
Exactly.
Let's get into that series a little bit too. Speaking of injuries and all that, the Celtics get a 4-1 win over the Heat, and Jimmy Butler had a lot to say about that. He said, "If I wasn't injured, y'all would be sitting at home." So let's talk about it. How you feel?
Fuck you. I only said that because I want to be respectful to this household.
Yeah.
If it was nobody here, I would say a lot more.
Oh yeah,
Jimmy, shut up. I've never liked you. I never liked you. I always hated you, Jimmy. And you keep on talking about Tobias, and you also talk about the 76ers, bro. Like, they made the wrong decision trading you. Like, bro, it was gonna cost them too much money to keep you. You was not gelling well with all of them, and they had confidence that Tyrese Maxey was gonna come out and be the player that they knew he was gonna be. There was nothing for you there, bro. So, just let it go, bro. But your situation is your situation. It is what it is. We'll see y'all next year, bro. Y'all gonna be, a play-in team again? Shut up. Like, How about you try to play a full season and actually be present during the regular season and give your team a better chance of actually succeeding? How about that? Because maybe if you did that, maybe you wouldn't be in that position you're in right now. So, I'm looking at Jimmy and I'm just laughing because, bro, just you got a lot going on over there. You need to worry about that.
And I think maybe that has something to do with your injury in general. Is like you not taking your whole first regular season serious. You probably not trying as hard. Your body not getting.
Just try to turn it on.
Yeah, and then you just try to turn it on. You a little older now. Yeah. Trying to get your body to a level of degree of playing that it isn't used to over a course of three or 4 months. I mean, you're just not gonna. At your age, is very likely to get an injury like you did, and it ended up hurting your team. And at the end of the day, like, all you can do is sit on the side, or sit at home, or sit in Cancun, or wherever y'all be going for the off season, and just talk your shit. But at the end of the day, you at home, you watching them play, and that's kind of on you. So I have no sympathy. I have no words really, other than, well, they'll see y'all next year, I guess. That's all I can say. All I can say, man. But yeah, Celtics get the win 4-1. They'll be seeing either the Magic after this episode is out. We'll already know. Magic and the Cavs are playing their Game 7 as we speak. That has been an interesting series. All the games have been won by the home team. So the Cavs they're playing at home right now. So
that's the only one that went to a Game 7, and I still don't think it was my favorite
series.
Yeah. My favorite series was Indiana and the Bucks.
Been a lot of drama in that series too.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I really hope that the Bucks got one more game dub out of them, just so I could see the Cinderella story go on a little longer. But that was my favorite series. But yeah, bro, this series has been going to a Game 7. I think it's not surprising. I think that's probably why. Mm-hmm. This is like. I think it might be surprising because I don't think people was expecting the Magic to play this well in the playoffs. But I think we starting to see with these younger players, bro. They come in with that kill everything mindset,
intensity.
When the youth does not matter no more, bro. These kids is coming in, and please do not forget what Jason Tatum did with him coming in with Kyrie at a young age, bro. Getting us to the come on, bro.
Yeah.
This didn't just start. But these kids now, they coming into the league and they on go mode, bro.
Yeah, it's more evident now than it has been. But you're right,
because it's more. It's more younger players taking over their teams at a young age, being the number one guy and getting their team further than they ever been.
And it's more teams that have a group of young guys trying and playing well together, like the Magic. Panchero, and I'm trying to remember the other young guy they got.
Wagner?
Yeah, Wagner. And then they got Joe Ingles, the older guy, in there helping out and playing. Like, he looked like he playing in his younger days, too, the way he playing, too. I think that is, like, that youth around him is, like, just helping him, like, realize, like, oh, I want to keep going. I want to keep playing. I want to play at a high level. And these dudes are doing it. So, I mean, it's been fun to watch the Magic. I called them to go to the Eastern Conference semis. So I hope they get this dub. That would be cool to watch. But if the Cavs win, it'll be interesting. They haven't won a playoff series without LeBron since 1993. So
Hey, dang, for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy to think about, because I honestly do think that the Cavs probably have one of the best constructed rosters in the league. They really do. And the players that they have, they fit together well. Even bringing in Max Strus, he was a good addition to what they already had. Mm-hmm. And they got guys that, I mean, Evan Mobley's so damn inconsistent, but I like Jared Allen. Jared Allen, one of my favorite players as a center. I really like the old school type of center that really get down and grimy, and get hella rebounds and score in the paint. I love the players like that. Him, Rudy, Jalen Duren. I love guys like that.
Yeah. But
then you got Darius Garland, who's already got an all-star under his belt. He is a good distributor. Then you got Donovan Mitchell as a fucking walking bucket. And we've seen in the absence of Darius Garland, he can also distribute the ball very well too. And for 6'1", he rebounds the ball very well too. Then so I mean they got stars in all three positions. They got guys that can do the 3 and D. They can swap it. I mean, I think that they probably have one of the best constructed rosters. Honestly, I thought that they was probably going to win in 6 games, 4-2. Mm-hmm. That was my thoughts coming into it. But Paolo has been playing on a different level. Like, Paolo really, really him.
Yeah, it really is. He really is going to be exciting to keep watching in the future. The Orlando Magic are going to be excited to keep watching in the future. The NBA is getting younger, and the NBA is getting, I think, better in that way. These young guys coming in now, especially, have just been a breath of fresh air as far as their intensity, as far as just how they attack and look at the game. They don't take it for granted, which has been kind of the MO for a lot of guys. It's kind of been the MO for a lot of the guys in the league, especially like during the regular season. Yeah. I like the Magic. I like how they go. So I hope they get the dub, but I wouldn't be mad at all if they don't. I wouldn't be heartbroken. The Cavs are a good team. I like Donovan Mitchell. I like him in Cleveland. I like how he plays for their city, and I like how they love and respect him. So either way, whoever wins that series, I'll be happy for him, for sure.
For sure. And we got probably 2 more series that we could probably really get in a lot of detail with the Clips and the Mavericks and the Knicks and the 76ers. But let's get them 2 quick ones out the way. The Lakers and the Nuggets, we can definitely talk about that quick, because it wasn't, the Nuggets did what we expected them to do, but it was some surprising things from the Lakers that you've seen, and it's just like, damn, how did y'all lose? Anthony Davis was playing his fucking ass off. Oh my God, he was playing really well. And LeBron is almost 40 years old and almost averaging a triple-double.
Out there hooping.
How did y'all lose? The Nuggets just that good, and that's really all it is to it, bro. And this man, Murray, come out here playing on one leg.
Yeah.
Give me y'all buckets.
One thing I will say about that win is I think the way Jokic plays, there's so many different times where like the Lakers get a bucket, the next thing you know, Jokic is already down the other end with the ball before the defense is, and he got a layup and sometimes an and one. And it's like that kept happening at times where the Lakers were close to getting back in the game, or they got back in the game, and then the momentum shifts right back to Denver because they just beat them down the court. And it was that I think was the problem the whole series with them, and how they lost, because at the end of the day, you go up against them one-on-one. LeBron, AD, if they're both healthy and playing well, Jokic and Murray, I mean, that's back and forth all day. Like, either team can win that, but it's like the little things that the Nuggets do that the Lakers just don't is probably what won them that series.
And the Nuggets got fucking Michael Porter Jr. A fucking walking bucket. That, bruh.
He got something to play for now too. He got to feed his family. He got to put money on books and shit now.
He got to put money on books. He got to feed the other two, because both of them. He got two brothers. He got
three brothers. Yeah, two brothers in jail, and the third one just kind of figuring out what he doing.
Yeah, bro, that's rough. But that man a walking bucket. It's no reason why you right under this man. He's shooting a three under you and straight making it. It's like that's being 6'10" and being able to shoot like that. That's something a lot of people don't got.
Yeah.
And he cold with that shit. And Aaron Gordon, he steps in and steps up constantly. So the Nuggets came in, did what they had to do. They might run into some problems. They've been running into problems all year with the non-Jokic minutes.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that can balance out with a team that actually has a 6th man of the year coming off the bench, and also a player that can shoot the three like crazy coming off.
And Naz Reid had 14 points in the fourth against them last night. So,
you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even get a chance to watch most of that game, being at work. But yeah, bro, just seeing how Anthony Edwards came out and performed, that's gonna get you through the Jokic minutes when he's on the floor, and then you got somebody coming off the bench doing that. I think we might see that the Nuggets might go down, in my opinion.
They might. I think that game goes to 7 though, or that series.
Yeah, it could definitely go the distance. The Pacers and the Bucks, that's another one we could probably get out the way pretty quick. I mean, I don't think this says much though, for the Pacers beating them. And in fact, I think it might say even less about y'all than y'all think. Y'all won a playoff series, but y'all beat a seriously wounded team. Y'all barely won the game when they lost their fucking backup. Y'all gonna run into some problems.
Yeah. Let's go to the Mavs Clippers real quick. I didn't really get to watch a whole lot as much as I wanted to, because it was a good series. I got to watch that closeout game, and the Mavs really took over, and the whole second half was all Dallas in that one. I mean, Kyrie doing just diabolical shit against defenders now. And can't nobody stop
Luka.
Can't nobody stop Luka. Can't nobody stop Luka. But the one thing that really I enjoyed more than anything was their defense. Like in that game, in Game 6, they played some of the best defense I've seen a Luka-led team play, because there was no easy shots from the Clippers. I mean, there was times where Paul George expected to be open. He was already in motion of a shot, not expecting a defender to be in his face once he got the ball. And it was that way every single time. He had 0 open shots. And when you make it tough on a team to make shots, I mean, you force them to make tough shots. I mean, most likely the odds are going to be in your favor, because they're not going to make everything. And you go down the court with intensity and you find your open man, that's how you win games. That's how they won.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I seen some post the other day talking about Paolo might be a top 15 player, and when they came, and I was like, no, there's no way. But then I sat there and I tried to think about it. I mean, I honestly did think about 15 other players that I was 100% certain with, but I was faced with the decision of, would I take PG over Paolo? And I can't say that I would after this series. He had that game where he came down and he really put his foot down against them and killed my parlay and came out and scored fucking 4 threes in the first half. I was just like, oh, this man is going crazy right now. I forgot what he ended with, but he came out and he put his foot down. But it's just like, bro, y'all are 2 Hall of Famers. What y'all doing? I mean, the best player on the floor consistently throughout this series was Zubac.
Yeah.
In my opinion, 14 and 12 the whole time he was dominating.
Yeah.
Dominating. He kept y'all in games when you don't know if you're going to get these 3-pointers from James Harden not giving you the same assists he was getting through the regular season. You don't know what's going on with Kawhi. Just retire.
Man.
I'm tired of you.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this every year in the playoffs. Retire.
Yeah.
Just do us all a favor and retire. We tired of this.
Or do what Jimmy Butler do. Just don't take the regular season off. Take that time to get injured. Take that time to get hurt. Come in the playoffs and do something. Even though that's the opposite of what happened this year, but...
Yeah, but you are like our biggest poster child of why load management is not a thing. They managed your load the whole time last year. You still got injured.
Yeah.
You played more games this year than you played in a long time. The year after this load management stuff, saying that that's supposed to help, you played more games than you ever did, and you still get injured. It does not matter what's happening with you, Kawhi. You're going to get injured. At this point, I'm looking for a deal to get you out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
The one ring I might get out of y'all from this is not worth dealing with this every year. And who knows when that's going to come, because Kawhi getting up there too. So the Clippers and the Mavericks, the best player from the Clippers was Zubac to me the whole time. He was very consistent. He was dominating the paint. But then at the same time, when you look at what the Mavs was doing in the paint, that the trade for Gafford is looking like is looking like it's actually starting to work and make sense now. You have the guy with the height with Derek Lively, and then you also have an athletic center that's coming in and he's going to give you good defense as well. So they got that 1-2 punch that's going on there now, and that's going to be good. Derrick Jones, that guy played very well too. I mean, I haven't seen him play good in a long time. So, that was surprising. I mean, he was a guarantee to go under on 7.5 points a game, like every week. So yeah, like that was crazy to see him come in this playoff series and really take charge. They started starting him. They started starting him.
I don't think no one expected that. Even the team.
They was like, okay, he got momentum. Let's go with him.
Yeah.
And I don't think about it, bro. Where's Tim Hardaway Jr.? He was like in the 6th Man of the Year conversation too at the beginning of the year. Is he injured or something?
I don't think so.
But to be doing what y'all doing without y'all 6th Man of the Year candidate or prior candidate from a year before or something like that, that's crazy. So I don't know who they playing next, but I think the Cavs, like we said, we've been saying it was gonna take. I mean, not the Cavs, the Mavs. Like we've been saying, it's gonna take a while for that duo to be that ball dominant duo to work. But
they got the Thunder next. Yeah, the Western Conference Western Conference semi is gonna be fun, but the conference finals is gonna be even more fun because you already know what you're getting out of the series with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Like, that's a great team already. You're probably gonna see the Thunder, and that's just gonna be a great matchup. Either way, whoever wins that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that wraps up our playoff coverage.
Yeah.
I think that was our last series. So yeah, that wraps up our NBA playoff coverage. The next biggest news in sports right now or the biggest stuff going around has been the NFL draft. A lot of social media reactions and a lot of stuff going on from that. So we're gonna kind of just run down some picks and kind of just talk about them a little bit. So out of the top 10, who was your biggest head scratcher? What was one that you saw that was like, that was a good pick, or I like that pick?
I don't care what nobody says. I love the Falcons picking up Michael Penix.
I do too.
I don't care what nobody says, bro. And I really don't understand what are we talking about. Like, do we not watch sports? Like, what are y'all talking about? This is a bad pick. What about it doesn't make sense? You gotta. It doesn't matter if he beats out Kirk Cousins. or not.
Yeah.
The thing that really makes me scratch my head is why do you re-sign Kirk Cousins before he's played it down? That's why extend a player you haven't seen, and he's 35 coming off a Achilles injury.
Yeah. To
That's
give him a
scratched my
to give him a 4-year contract is a head scratcher. I would have gave him something around 2, maybe.
I would have let him play his contract out this year before I did anything. Because you don't know what you're getting. Just be honest. You don't know what you're getting from him.
Yeah.
And then you go in with the money. I mean, I really just don't think that decision was made by the GM at that moment. I feel like he been having that pick in his head that that's what he was gonna do, and it was the right move.
Yeah,
you gonna get because what you gonna get from Penix is gonna be you getting a draft value, because they not gonna come in and making as much money as a backup that you gonna. Well, some of these earlier draft picks are gonna be making more money than free agents, depending. But I think
on situations and shit.
Yeah, but Michael Penix Jr. just sitting there at 8, bro. You take him.
You take him. Yeah, exactly. Like, people are reacting so negatively to it. Like, we didn't just watch Aaron Rodgers fucking blow the Jets all their fucking plans up in one play with his injury. I mean, that he's in the same age range as him, bro. Like, you have to think about, if we lose him, our next player is Desmond Ridder. We haven't had confidence in him. That's why we got Kirk Cousins in the first place. And we weren't expecting Penix. They probably weren't expecting Penix to be on the board at that time. They're probably like, bro, y'all don't want him?
Exactly.
We're not going to let nobody else get him. We might as well get him. And at the end of the day, if Kirk Cousins beats him out, you still have probably one of the better young backups in the league. And he's gonna learn, he's gonna develop, he's gonna like get some wet feet a little bit, and then still be there for you once Kirk Cousins is done. On the other side of that, if he beats him out, I mean, you got an older veteran backup, or maybe even some trade value there to build around Penix now. Yeah.
But you really don't, because he old as hell, and you just said that you not even good enough to start for us. You can't even beat out a rookie. Who finna go and trade for an old man that y'all just paid that much money? That's why it didn't make sense to re-sign him. But, it's somebody somewhere might want him. So that's gotta be your hope with that.
I mean, the Jets might just do it again.
I mean, honestly. But beyond that, even to a better point, y'all have shown us over and over again the value in drafting a quarterback while you already have your guy. Y'all have been putting on a clinic with that.
Yes.
How do you go 3 for 3?
Bro,
that's crazy.
Somebody
in the Packers organization,
they are smart as fuck. Because no one liked the Jordan Love pick.
I did not.
No one liked the Jordan Love pick. I didn't know what we had out of Jordan Love. Like, when you get a guy coming from a small Division I, you got to think of the level of competition they're playing. But sometimes we don't think about, Utah State, they normally in the early season, they'll play a team like Alabama. They'll play a bigger school, probably get killed. But them games kind of help you simulate what you kind of step into in the NFL normally as a high draft pick. You have a shitty O-line most times. You have a situation where your guys are probably not the best on the field. So it kind of prepares you for that in some ways. But Jordan Love came and opened everybody's eyes this year. And the future is going to be looking bright for the Packers, especially with their draft picks. They answered 3 of their biggest questions. They filled 3 of their biggest key spots. The offensive tackle that we needed. We needed an inside backer for our new we're switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3 scheme. So we needed a good inside backer, and we also got a safety. So that was our 3 biggest question marks going into the roster this year, and those were the first 3 that we got off the board. So I think the Packers just did an amazing job drafting. We didn't draft like the biggest names, but we drafted what we needed. And that's what sometimes I feel like teams miss on, is they want to get the biggest name, the headliner dude, and it don't never work out for them. So the Packers, man, they just rolling dice, and they coming up 6s every time, bro. They cold.
Yeah, definitely are good. But I think we might be one of the best drafting teams in like NFL history. Like we put on clinics at the draft every single year. That's why I don't even watch it no more. I don't take the time to sit back and question picks no more, because they have been right in ways I never even could have imagined. Like,
type shit.
They've never got something. They've never got a first round pick wrong, first and foremost. I mean, Bro, do y'all not know that they drafted Jonathan Odge and then Ray Luke, 2 Hall of Famers back to back? Oh my God, like bro, I could go on for hours about how the clinic we put on in the draft every year. So I don't watch it, but I do like that we drafted a corner and we drafted an edge. We definitely needed that, and then we drafted a decent receiver. I think I probably would have took a receiver quicker. I think I probably would have took. I don't know. I think I probably would have took the receiver probably first before the corner, but we ended up getting the 4th best corner in like the draft apparently. But the 1st best corner in the draft went to the Eagles apparently, and they were saying like he's the best corner, but he played for Toledo. Now, I don't know a lot about Toledo, but I would assume they're a smaller school in a smaller conference. So I would assume his competition is not as good. So I think the guy that we got from Clemson, I mean, I think that's as good a competition as it can get.
Yeah.
So I feel like we got more of a proven guy that's played against better competition. I think I'm sure they're going off his technique and all of that good stuff. But you can't go against on the field tape. So, you know, I'm cool with that pick. We got an edge rusher in the corner and a receiver from North Carolina. And he made Drake May look good and look like he was a pretty good quarterback. So, and I don't really think Drake May is all that. I definitely would have drafted him before Penix, but it is what it is. The Patriots, y'all do what y'all do. But yeah, so I mean that's how I'm feeling about the draft right now. Did you have any things that was like head scratchers to you?
One head scratcher to me was probably Bo Nix going to the Broncos. I feel like y'all probably should have traded up a little bit if y'all could have to try to get a better pick. I mean, y'all kind of are coming in with 3 underwhelming quarterbacks now. Bo Nix is a guy that I feel like he's been in the college so long, because he had to. Like, I feel like he just wasn't, he's an NFL quarterback, but I think at best he's kind of what they have now. And what's his name? Quarterback from the Jets.
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is kind of a lot like Zach Wilson. Like, he's a running guy. He's a guy that can run, but I think his decision making is very questionable out there. Half the time, he throws a lot of questionable balls. I think guys from Oregon have been very blessed at the college level with the amount of athleticism they have. They can kind of just throw the ball up, and you know their receiver is going to come down with it most of the time. But in the NFL, it's very different, and I think that's going to become evident. But we'll see what he does with Jerry Jeudy. Can he be, even if he beats out Zach Wilson? But he's got Jerry Jeudy. He's got another good receiver, forgetting his name. But I think that was kind of a head scratcher.
The Broncos?
Yeah,
Broncos traded him.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, he played for the Browns now.
Never mind then.
Sutton. You got Cortland Sutton.
You got Cortland Sutton though. I do like Sutton. He's a good player. Also, from my opinion, I think a good pick that wasn't reciprocated from the fan base was Brock Bowers going to the Raiders. Brock Bowers is probably the best tight ends in the draft class. He was one of the most athletic tight ends.
I didn't like that pick really.
Why not?
I like Mayer. The tight end is already there.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, I mean, it's hard to say because it just feels like you just really don't know what they was capable of because of the system.
Yeah.
You know, shit just wasn't really working out very well.
Maybe they're heading into
call.
a more 2 tight end heavy system.
And that might be working because when you think about it's really not another position that they probably could really get into. They got I like they running back that they got.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jacoby Myers and they got Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And then they line holds up pretty well. Did they decide to stick with O'Connell or did they get somebody else? They got what's his name? Guy from the Colts, Gardner.
Yeah, they did.
So
they sure did.
Yeah, I mean they shored up everywhere else. So I mean, yeah, you're probably right. 2 tight end system will probably be nice for Gardner Minshew because they definitely ran a lot of 2 tight end shit in Indy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you right. I fuck with that.
But we're not gonna get too heavy on the next round. And moving forward, we were just kind of going off the first round picks. I'm excited to see that white DB though.
Cooper.
Yeah, I'm excited. Cooper DeJean. Let's see what he do.
They was certain he was gonna go in the first round. Second round ain't bad though.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does. But yeah, moving forward, moving into our last topic of the day, future QB battles, future QB rivalries that we are looking forward to, or we would like to see, or we are going to see in the upcoming seasons. So let's get into that a little bit.
Oh, what is that? Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, you want to try it?
No, that's okay.
Well, shit. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Then that's a wrap.
All right, hold on. Let me do that a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, so that kind of wraps up our topic of the draft. We didn't want to get into much of the second and third rounds. That first round was all we was really looking at with head scratchers or with things that we liked. But a lot of good things in the future for the NFL, especially for our teams. I think we're both excited for what our picks are going to bring and for what our veterans are going to do. So this season is looking up to be very good. And the Packers might be bringing in white alternate uniform, white helmets. That's going to be fun.
So exciting.
I just hate how the NFL just be doing
funny,
simple
bro.
things with their uniforms and they be making it seem like it's groundbreaking shit, bro. Like, it's so funny, bro.
That should not been a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have been able to wear what the fuck you want to wear.
Like,
what?
It's 2024. We're now thinking, oh, the Packers might look good with some white helmets sometimes. Like, it's so stupid, bro. But that wraps up our episode, man. We'll get into the NBA playoffs. We'll get into the conference semis in our next episode. We'll probably have some more training camp stuff to look at and future QB rivalries and QB battles to look forward to. So like us, subscribe to us, comment, definitely follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well. We'll be having a lot of content dropping as well from there.
Yep. Follow us.
Follow us. Peace.
See y'all later.